What is up, everybody? Today we are going to head over to Travis Reeder's shop. I spent the morning pressure washing the bottom of my car because the front axle decided to pop out and dump gear oil all over everything. But we're going to head over to his shop and check out his build. I'm really pumped on the car he's building and stepping into a new chassis for FD this year. So we're gonna go check it out, see if we can help him out with some pointers, and have him give us the heads up on this new sweet build that he's been doing. Looks like every other drift shop, except it has huge wheelers and stuff in it. We're here to check out Mr. Reeder, Travis Reeder. What's your Instagram?
It's Travis Reeder, dude.
At Travis Reeder. His E46 he's putting together. And this thing is sick. I gotta say, I am super pumped for him to build one of these because I feel like this is one of the best chassis that's still affordable and very relatable to people. So we're gonna give this thing a walk around real quick. We'll start at the front. You wanna get this thing going?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I just wanted to build it as simple as possible, kind of like the S13 was. So it's just gonna be big Nitrous V8, same thing goes in my S13, and just build an overall better car, dude. So,
what makes this better?
I wanted some more wheelbase. The S chassis was a little twitchy when you put power to it and hook it up. I wanted some wheelbase, I wanted better suspension geometry, front rack and a trailing arms like the Jam. So yeah, there's no other option, dude.
No other option? This is it?
E46, there you go.
All right, so looks like you've got the cage or the additional bracing from the front bumper to the strut tower, which is allowed in FD.
Yeah.
But then obviously not back here.
Yeah.
It's not allowed, but the BMW kind of comes with something here that helps with that a little bit. Stock rack, what kind of rack is that?
It is a factory E46 steering rack.
Really?
Yep.
That's not a 330 fancy one or anything?
It is a 330 rack.
Okay, well that's fancy.
It's fancy.
You know, they came in yellow and purple tag. Is it?
Yeah.
Do you know which one it is?
I think that one's purple. Or is
I don't even know. Where's that? Oh, no, it's yellow tag.
it yellow?
It's yellow.
I don't know the ratio difference.
That's not quite as beefy as the purple rack, man.
I think it'll do.
No, it'll do. So then 6AN on the rack here, and then this steering shaft looks pretty fancy.
Yep. Yeah.
Look at these brake lines too. Let's not miss the little details here. And all this stitch welded here where it counts. These tend to just blow out of the car, so you definitely want to do that. But he's gonna run stock core support.
Yeah.
Dang,
No
and
sense in cutting it off. It's not bent.
dude, and wheel tubs.
Yeah.
Keep your engine bay decently clean.
Yeah.
What do you think? You're gonna tie this in and cover it with something? No.
It'll be good.
It'll be good.
I'm gonna build a strut tower bar though.
Okay.
I usually run that big air box like the S13 had, and with this car I have enough room I can go into this a little bit, loop around the back, get a strut tower bar in there.
Got it.
Couldn't do it on the S13.
And then you were saying you'll mount your AccuSump there?
Yep.
And that'll or to that strut bar mount, or that's going to be in a chassis mount?
It's gonna mount and build some brackets and tuck it in the corner as far left as I can get it.
Got it.
So it'll be up in there.
OEM wiper cowl, dude. Got to keep it classy.
Got a little classy.
And motor plates too.
Yep.
That's different.
Yeah, so the motor needs big primary headers, so I got to build the headers out to 2-inch primaries minimum, and with the motor mount there, it's gonna be a real pain to fit it around the steering shaft, so I just front plated it. Gives me a lot more clearance for all that stuff.
Got it. Look, he didn't cut a ton out of the transmission tunnel, just a little slot for the linkage and shifter to go. Not overbuilt, bro.
The simple things.
And you still have, what, 60 days into this right now?
Yeah.
Is it 60?
It's gonna be, what do you mean, overall build time?
Well, right now, where are you at? How many days?
I'm probably a month's time into thrashing.
Okay, so only 30. That's pretty good.
It'll
So
be
like,
a good 3-month build.
I always tell people all the time, like, if you can buy a car, people are like, oh, like, I'll build the car myself. I'll do all that. Like, if I had this chassis right here, all done already. Oh, actually, I do have one. If I just told you $5,000, come get it, would you have built this, or would you have just gone and gotten mine?
I would have gone and gotten it. Dude, so I say
It's just the time.
I say a month, but this is my full-time job.
Right.
That's 80 hours a week.
Right.
A month's worth of that.
Yeah.
So, like I was just telling you.
So yeah, over 300 hours
easy.
into the way you see it now, and most people would be like, "Oh, how are you going to be ready for FD in 2 months?" And you're like, "I'll be testing in 2 weeks or 3."
I hope. I hope so.
All right, so going inside, the cage is a Cage Kits one, right?
Yep. Yeah. Rob,
Tell us about what's going on inside here.
Yeah. So Rob builds these cage kits, and they're all laser scanned. So he like creoform scans the insides of cars, and he's got like CNC tube benders, CNC laser notch, all that stuff. So you can order kits for a lot of common drift cars and drag cars even. I think they have some Tesla stuff too. But yeah, so it comes, this cage is built in CAD, and it comes on a pallet pre-notched, pre-bent, everything. So a cage like this usually takes 80 to 100 hours to build if you know what you're doing. And this thing was tacked and welded in, fully done in 10 hours. So it saved a ton of time. And they're relatively affordable too.
Yeah, he's not lying either, because I saw his Instagram with the entire cage on a pallet, and then the next day it was done. Like, I was like, damn, that's awesome. Like, and Travis did the cage in my Mustang, which I was afraid to order a cage kit from somebody because they're all usually so awful. And also, since the car is kind of made out of tinfoil, since it's from the 80s, 70s, I was worried that it just wouldn't fit because it's been bent or whatever. So, but it took him, what? That was 2 weeks, basically, week and a half with my cage.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, a week and a half probably.
And this is I feel like, nicer and better cage.
Yeah.
That was a day.
Yep, yeah, I told Rob, I was like, yo, build it as tight as possible. I want to have to hammer some stuff. So it's pretty much the tightest you could fit it right out of the box.
Yeah, it looks good.
So.
And all of the compound bends are like spot on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and every part comes like notched with part numbers, and you have
That's
a
sick.
detailed list of everything.
So,
That's right.
bucket seat, the column looks nice too, and the matching red. Look at that, dude. This whole thing's red and black.
Yeah.
So what made you go with the floor-mounted pedals?
Save some time, honestly. I wasn't really a fan of them. I think they usually feel weird when I've driven cars with floor mounts before. I leaned them back quite a bit, and I might even set them a little farther in. But building a bracket to hang pedals in here is tough. There's a lot going on and a lot of fab there. Plus the ones in my S13, you hit the brakes hard enough, it twists the dash bar because it was mounted to the dash bar.
Oh, nice.
And we're not allowed to brace to the firewall from the dash bar. So this it's more stout and a lot more simple to mount. So
That was like the beauty. I just did these in my Mustang, and I did a hang down setup. And the fact that I'm not running FD, I just went from this bar to the firewall, mounted them, and then I have another brace that goes from that down behind it.
Yeah.
So it won't flex at all.
yeah, I wish I could do that with the S13.
I know you can't. That's kind of why this Mustang build, mine's probably gone a lot faster because I just do it however I want and not worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so fuel stuff.
Yeah.
What do we got going on here? This looks fancy.
Yeah, we got a Radium 6-gallon. It's their new fuel cell surge tank deal. Got the dry brake, fill neck, just a little cell dropped down in the floor. Make it clean and kind of out of the way.
It looks familiar.
Yeah. Yeah, your car's like that.
When we did that, Kevin, the tech guy, was like, I don't like that. I don't know. I'm like, okay, well, what are you going to do about it? And he was like, no, it actually makes sense. It's safe that way, but I've just never seen it like that. And I was like, yeah, dude, we're trying to keep the weight where we want and keep the rear of the car as safe as possible.
Yep. Low as you can get it between the shock towers.
Yep.
Perfect place.
And then looks like, obviously rear mount radiator, but it's got an electric pump mounted back here.
Yep.
And this is the hump for the diff that we'll check out in a second, right?
Yep. We will.
When did FD allow us to do that?
It was like 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
They changed the rules.
So that right there is the sole reason I never had a quick change in my car, because I was always worried about the suspension travel being a problem because I couldn't fit it and the diff would have to sit super low. Well, so you got some nitrous too.
Yeah.
And you'll change that by going through the window, I assume?
Yeah, it just pops out through the window. This
And what are all these for?
tab.
Explain that.
Yeah, rear bulkhead. So At FD, if anything's in the cockpit, battery, fuel cell, nitrous bottle, anything like that, it needs to be completely sealed off from the driver. And since I wanted to put everything in the back seat, it made sense to just build a single firewall. That way I don't have to box the cell, box the battery, box the water, like all that kind of stuff. So just single bulkhead. I won't be able to see out the back window, but we don't look there anyway, so.
You gonna put a reverse cam in there or what, dude?
Kind of thought about it.
I've driven a couple cars with that firewall set up and they had reverse cams, and I'm like, I'm really thankful for that, or I'd be crashing into stuff. And that's all you need to do when there's a whole bunch of like fans hanging out in the pit area and you're backing up and you smash into your own trailer or something.
I've gotten close a couple times.
Yeah, no, it's like, especially with your helmet on, your Hans, and your seat has wings so you can't see left and right. Like you're literally driving off your little mirrors that are hopefully still attached to the car. Yeah, it's awful.
S13 had right-hand drive mirrors, Ace Bear ones.
And it didn't even work.
So you couldn't adjust them correctly. So, yeah, it was rough.
Nice. So what's up with these clamshells? Those are pretty sweet. We didn't have those, or I don't even know if they have them for sedans.
I don't think they do. 2F makes them. It's a lightweight flared corner, is what they call it. So everything's cut out under here like that side. It makes it really easy.
Dude, the wheel fitment Nazis are not gonna like that, dude.
Yeah,
they're gonna be like, damn, dude, where's your spacer?
Well, when we have trophy truck travel and the thing's all open here
Yeah.
in the room, bro.
No, that and like obviously how you have your car space changes how it handles big time.
Yeah, it's a big thing. People don't get that.
But yeah, like lots of clearance here, so you'll be able to get all the way into that wheel well for sure.
Yeah, these are nice. Quick to replace. You're not bending up factory sheet metal and like if it was factory sheet metal, it'd bend all this when we, fold the trunk over.
I'm sure some of the viewers know that, and I've seen that.
Oh yeah.
You got some nice billet mounts in here. Your fire suppression system. Another shot of that radium cell setup in there.
Yep, that's the jam. These things.
I know, I saw that. Got a shot of them earlier. So no matter what you paint your cage with, this area always gets scratched.
Yeah, it gets destroyed. I think I'm gonna cut some pieces, put them here too.
Yeah, I was even saying you probably want one here
Yeah, definitely.
for when you're pulling the bottle in and out.
I think I've got a 10-inch piece left. Bro. Put that in there.
There you go.
Lay down handbrake.
Oh,
People don't know about
dang.
that, dude, it's got my logo in it.
Oh my gosh,
Look at
that's
that.
so baller.
Shout out to Nameless, dude.
Dude, that's sick.
My boys over at Nameless.
Damn, that's sick.
Yeah,
That's cool. Yeah, the laydown is the way to go, dude.
it's the way to go.
It's the way. Everybody wants to look like Ken Block out there with the pullback guy, but I like to keep it street, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Sick.
Yeah, man.
So obviously rear-mounted radiator, keeping that trend going, keeping the engine bay temps down, keeping it safe so you don't get holes in it.
Yep.
What's some other reasons to have rear mount rad?
Shift some weight back, more weight over the rear tires. It's out of the crumple zone, so I can take the corner off pretty hard here, knock it into the radiator. The S13 was front radiator, and I got real close to bending it a few times. So this is just out of the way, easy. You can pull the brackets, slip it out the top.
Ah, I didn't even notice that you could slip it out the top.
Yep.
Nice. These
Yeah.
brackets are fancy too. It's kind of a different style mount. A lot of guys weld stuff directly, like wings onto the radiator. I like this, it looks nice.
Yep. Yeah, it turned out sick.
And then you got your coolant catch tank back here.
Yep.
And then obviously you'll plumb that into the radiator. And then do you have a line that goes to the motor from that?
Yeah, so I have to plumb a line from, on the LSs you have the coolant crossovers between the heads. So I'll have to run a -6 from the coolant crossover under the car up through that bulkhead that I had sitting over there through the floor, and it'll come to this. And this is the highest point of your system, so it filters all the air out, swirls it, and then it'll just return down to the radiator here. It'll mount like a overflow tank here, so this will come out to the overflow, and then it'll be a
And
full-on system.
half window?
Full
Or
window.
Full window.
Yeah, I'm
just
gonna
with
hole
a
saw some holes to
okay.
the stuff. And
Sick. I was gonna say I hope there's a full window in there because
Yeah.
this angle and then the other angle from this side, whenever there's not a full window, just looks funny.
Yeah, it looks
It almost like makes it like a pickup truck weird.
Yeah, it'll be all quick release so we can get it off.
And how do you get air to the radiator?
The side windows are going to have some vents in them.
Okay,
So,
so you'll run, and you really don't need much
Yeah, the
because
fan
the
does
fan will do most of the work.
yeah.
Sick. All right, and then simple bash bar setup with a lot of clearance here. I like your little
Yeah, some
gusset
gussets.
there. This is a bolt-on replacement piece. Hopefully you've gotten pretty good at making those. Or is
Yeah.
this the first one still?
They're pretty quick and easy. I have the measurements.
Sweet. All right, and then underneath.
Oh, this is new for FD too, though.
Oh yeah. So we got the only legal chassis brace that's allowed. So you basically can cut a hole in the unibody and go down and basically brace the subframe mounts, correct?
Yep. Yeah, so it ties
And there's
in.
not a through bolt, right? Or is there a through bolt?
So it's threaded top and bottom.
Okay.
So you just run the threads in from the top, threads in from the bottom, and it kind of captures that
Captures
pocket
it.
And then triangulates it between the towers. So it should help a lot.
Yeah, because previously everybody had to like kind of find their own way to do all that. And now there's a regulated way. You
Yep.
can see through there right now. Yeah, the paint, the fab work, everything on this car is super nice. And you kept most of your inner wheel tub and stuff, which is cool. All this is painted, so that's nice. Walk us through this rear suspension a little bit.
I can run it up with the lift too.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
We have a lift.
Yeah, and I'm down here on my ass.
We're not on the gravel under a lean-to anymore.
Oh, I didn't even notice your jack point there too.
Yep. You always forget something. When it went to paint, I forgot to weld the tube there
Oh,
to center on the jack.
got it.
So
Yeah, a lot of crumple zone back here.
Yep.
If you see, like this is obviously the body line, so you can get pretty deep.
I went and boxed all this, made it look nice. So it's all
Yeah, that looks sweet.
welded and smooth.
Yeah, so this is nice having this extra clearance allowed, because otherwise the diff would have been about 3 inches lower, which is why I never ran a quick change. I ran the stock diff, and like even the stock diff would sit at this point, and I would break the rear covers off all the time.
Yeah.
So my fear was always to go. And my car was never low, but I had a lot of suspension travel, so it's cool that you can now easily run a quick change. This subframe setup's super nice too.
Yeah, that was a fun. That was the hardest hole I ever did saw, bro. Right there, from the side in there for the axle relief.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
Oh, it was tough.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I built some tools.
Did
I
you?
get creative.
Well, yeah, because you can't capture it.
Yeah, I think I have them over here, dude. I built some like pilot hole plates. Rick gave me the idea. Rick at RCS. So like, I have these things made. So this clamped in the axle.
Oh, to hold it.
So I made a 1/2-inch pilot bit in the drill that sat in here, and you could get about halfway through before it bottomed out.
Got it.
Halfway through, cut it out, and then you take your short boy right here.
And then you switch and then
Finish
do
it
that
off.
one.
Yeah.
I mean, that works.
It works.
And theoretically, you only got to do it 1 or 2 times, so.
Yeah, I gotta build another subframe, so
Yep.
it'll go faster a second time.
Sweet. Got some little offset trailing arm bushing action going on there. Looking sweet.
You need all the tape and
Solid subframe bushings. You got your factory allowed plates in there. Are you gonna run this plate, this bar? Can you, or make your own, I guess?
I don't know if it fits.
Yeah.
I have one. I haven't bolted it in yet.
Can you make your own there? Or is that against the rules too?
Sure, you could make your own.
Really?
Maybe. I don't
I
know.
don't know. Maybe we'll end up editing this section out.
We're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out. Sweet.
Yeah.
So like explain the quick change thing, because a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah. So gear ratios, final drive is a real big thing in drifting. It's really nice to be able to tune that, and a quick change makes it to where you can change your final drive in, a minute, and you just pop this rear cover off, slap your other set of gears in there, put it back in, and it makes the car way more drivable versus having 10 diffs with different ratios.
Yep.
And having to swap full differentials, you can just pop the cover, slip some gears in, and then you're ready to jam.
How many gear ratios do you think you run a year?
So I have a set of 6, and those 6 sets of gears are actually two
Right,
gear
because you can
ratios.
flip them.
Yeah, top to
Yep.
bottom. So I have everything from like a 330 to a 529. So with 6 sets gets you a lot,
Yeah.
and I can split it by 4 or 5 mile an hour, sometimes even less every set. So
Sweet. Yeah, so that makes it so that like this one diff does the job of 6 or 12 diffs, you know, like, so you'd have to build and pack and set up all those diffs. And even if you were doing it with spools, like welded diffs, the cost would be 5 times what this is.
Yeah.
So everybody looks at the quick change thing as like, oh, it's a lot of money, but it's actually way cheaper. Because at the pro level, you're changing gear ratios all the time, you know.
Probably do 4 or 5 different gear sets just in first practice.
Yeah, exactly. Just trying to find the sweet spot.
Yep.
There's that radium cell again. Is this the one that they supply, this mount?
Yeah.
Sick.
They make the cages.
Yeah, I have a similar setup in the Fox we're doing right now. Radium's local, and the guys there are super rad.
Yeah, they're awesome. Make good stuff.
Sick. So, if you were to do it again, what would you change?
Would I change?
What have you already not done right?
Dude, a lot of things. There's always, even when you're building a car, right after you do it, you're like, ooh. Maybe I
Yeah,
shouldn't have
or
done it
ooh,
that
I
way.
forgot about that. Or
Yeah.
ooh, yeah.
Well, something I didn't realize is I wanted to keep it divorced spring and shock. And I'm quickly realizing now that it's really hard to fit an axle in there because the upper arm here dips down a bit.
This is probably the perfect angle to show your problem
Yep.
right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's going to fit.
So that, well, where are we at? This right there is a problem. It's supposed to go into that CV that is over there, or the output shaft. So that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, we're going to get creative though.
Yeah.
Make it work.
I think you need just an upper control arm fabbed.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah, it should be good.
Well, it's coming along. What do you think? You got to put the motor in, wire it all,
Yeah, wiring's...
take it to link, get it tuned.
Yeah, wiring's getting reworked right now. It should be done shortly.
So what are you thinking? You're testing mid-April or early April?
Hoping early April.
That's really soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like Legos at this point, dude. It's just hopefully plug and play.
Yeah.
And because all the drivetrain's out of my S chassis.
Yep.
All the hardware.
It's proven already.
Yep. Wiring's done. It's just fabbing the little race cars are 1,000 tabs and brackets. So
Yep.
it's just making tabs and brackets and making it go. So should be pretty soon, hopefully.
Sweet. Well, good luck.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Later, bro.
Later, dude.